Right, Honorable Speaker, as Minister for Energy and Green Transition, currently my vision is simple. I want all the 1,346 containers accounted for. 1,346 containers. Whatever it takes, I'll bring those containers to where they ought to be. Mr. Speaker, let me set the record straight. And if my good friend, Professor, will listen to me, there's not been any inconsistency. At the transition committee, Honorable Yarga was there, they gave us a figure of 3,000. Then they told us it had incurred demurrage of 1.5 billion. I was sworn into office on the 17th. On the 24th, I visited the harbor. At the harbor, I was told the containers were 2,500. That is what aroused my suspicion. I didn't say at the harbor that the containers are 2,500. I couldn't have counted 2,500 containers instantaneously. And so from 24th, I went to brief the president on 27th. And by 31st, I had established this committee. There was media coverage. And we took Professor Senyo. He's a chartered procurement expert. The report was submitted just this week. It was during the presentation of the report that the committee told me that contrary to the figures they were giving you, over 1,300 containers cannot be accounted for. These are the facts and nothing but the facts. Mr. Speaker, these are the facts. So those who are on social media and trying to play the political game, let me assure you, it will not deter me. Mr. Speaker, I just came from Kong. We've gone to 4 warehouses. 2 of them are factories. And what they've been doing over the years is that they buy these containers with brand new aluminum cables and then melt them into aluminum rods and export them. Today, I encourage everybody to watch the television sets. You will see the cables, brand new cables, being put into the furnace, being melted and converted to rods. Mr. Speaker, yesterday, when President Mahama called me, his message was simple. Jinapo, you have my full backing, go the full throttle. And that is exactly what we are doing. We've already arrested some Chinese nationals. We are on the trail of some Indian nationals who have bolted. But you know, this is a house of record. And so I'm being very, very cautious. I've received a lot of briefing. And I'm getting to know those who are behind it. This has been going on for years. I will stop that and it will stop right now. But Mr. Speaker, it's not just going to stop. We shall retrieve the containers of the materials. We shall prosecute the perpetrators, and we will prosecute the perpetrators, and we will sell the rods to recover the cost. Mr. Speaker, people are complaining that at the distribution level, the power system is not stable. It is because you buy the materials and you don't use them. They end up somewhere other than their intended purpose. But
you hold on. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, the minister is not out of order. If it pleases him, I'm just coming in with point of information. Mr. Speaker, respectfully, it must be for the records that we managed to order that under a new dispensation, all contract to be awarded by ECG should be aimed at delivery at their warehouses. In September 2024, when this matter came to the fore, and whilst I was there as chair, this was done and it is part of the report to the minister. I just wanted that for the record, so that nobody goes behind it to attempt to say that there is still an existing arrangement where you award and you deliver at the port, just by way of information to him. to help him.
Thank you very much. Yes.
But Mr. Speaker, I'm not just looking at tackling the problem, I'm also looking at the source of the problem. That for me is very, very important. Mr. Speaker, and with your permission, I'll tender in the committee's report so that everybody can read it. I'll tender it in. Mr. Speaker, if you go to the tables, for instance, in year 2023, their approved planned procurement was 935 million. That's less than 1 billion. By the end of the year, they had procured 8.3 billion. 7.3 billion more than their budget could accommodate. And so you had so many containers arriving at the port. So many containers arriving at the port. They are not able to clear, and that gives way for these things. Mr. Speaker, 2024, their budget was 1.3 billion for procurement. They ended up procuring 8.2 billion. That is the source of the problem. And I hold the view that whoever was responsible and the MD approving, Mr. Speaker, it's even worrying. If you look at the procurement, the MD has a threshold of $1 million. A day, they sign 20 contracts, all of them 900, 900, 900, 900. These are the key issues that I am focusing on. And so let me tell those politicians, and excuse my language, Mr. Speaker, I believe that some of the criminals are part of it. On social media and trying to muddy the waters. Your days are numbered. Mr. Speaker, the containers have serial numbers. They are received at the port. They are entered into a document. There's a manifest for it. Before they move on, somebody has to sign for it. It has to go through an agent. It has to get to a destination. And I will trace all of that. We will trace them. That is the way to go. Already, I have written to the Bureau of National Investigations or National Investigation Bureau to commence investigation. And so, Mr. Speaker, without arguing too much, Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I will tender in the report.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Speaker, in winding up, we are giving some immediate directives. The procurement unit was merged with the estate department. The head of procurement was jettisoned, and the head of estate department was then made to take care of the procurement. So I've written to ECG immediately that should be decoupled, and a qualified procurement expert should man the procurement unit. Secondly, we've reduced their budget from 500 million to 250, because we must pay for the power producers. Today, the bill is over 80 billion in the energy sector, over 80 billion. If we don't do something, this sector would collapse. And as Minister, Mr. Speaker, I am determined to do my bit, no matter how difficult it is. Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker.